I think there's something special in women supporting women, or in general, people who can relate to people supporting each other. And specifically when we talk about women or female identifying supporting other women or female identifying, we remove two main things that exist everywhere else, and that would be male privilege and misogyny. And when you can take those two things out, you can experience a sense of vulnerability, a sense of relatability, and it opens up for deeper conversation, quicker connection, and a feeling of safety.
There is something very primal about birth work that goes back to women supporting women, and it's something that's just bred in us, that when it comes time for a person going through birth, you gravitate towards that feminine energy. That's why we do what we do, because we're trying to harness and bring back and anchor that sense of being there for each other, showing up for each other. You're called to do this work just like any other healer, whether you're a massage therapist, a yoga instructor, a talk therapist. I mean, you're called to do this work to show up for your community. And those are little strands of that ancestral pull.
Trauma is whatever you define it. Trauma is something that makes you feel uncomfortable or anxious or scared, and it lives in you. And it's something that doesn't just pass by. And for some people, it might be that the only trauma they recognize they've experienced is something that is like the kind of trauma we see in movies, like a car crash or death of someone in your family. But then there are other traumas like bleeding through white jeans in school, or falling down the stairs and breaking your nose, or maybe we can go like even smaller scale, not less important, but smaller in the way we experience them.
Trauma shows up in our clients in a whole rainbow of ways. It shows up in really like cathartic ways of showing like big emotions, and then it shows up in a loss of words, or their eyes welling up but they're not allowing themselves to express it. We're all here to catch each other, to look at each other, to hold each other. We're there for one another, and we always say in our circles that if you haven't gone through this exact specific thing that this other person is going through, you know what it's like to feel sadness or anger or frustration or vulnerability. And so it's just really streamlining it down to those human emotions.
That's kind of like the foundation for us, is can we find one person to connect with? And if we can connect with them, then I'm sure there's one other person. And then next thing you know, we have a circle, and then we do it every month, and then we do it every year. And you know, connection with someone who we can relate to is healing, and we know that.